throwback. My shop's open and I've got some brand new items. If you've got the coins, why don't you take a look? So we've got the diamond floppies, silver shark head, diamond tiki arms, infinite jump jet, and scrumptious screw-ons. Well, I'm almost bankrupt. Alright, so what is going on, guys? Welcome back to some more... What the hell is that? Alright then. So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to some more Garden Warfare 2 here today on the channel. I did promise you this video a few days ago. I do apologize that it did not come out. I've just had some other things I've had to do. And regarding content, I have mentioned this, I think, on Twitter and stuff like that. The revenue on YouTube right now with the ads is awful. Like, companies aren't paying to put ads on YouTube, so the money you get from YouTube on the ad revenue side of things is absolutely horrible. So I've been investing more time into live streaming, which I'm really enjoying. If any of you guys do want to come along to the live streams, the link's down in the description. I'm probably going to mention that in a lot of videos going forward. And also, if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure you join it. That link's down in the description as well. But we are here on Garden Warfare 2, and it's a discussion kind of video. I want your guys' input in the comments down below. And the question that I want to ask you guys is, what is your favorite Plants vs. Zombies game? Is it Garden Warfare 1, the nostalgia first Plants vs. Zombies shooter? Is it Garden Warfare 2, an evolution of the original game with more character variants, more classes, story mode missions, infinity time, private matches? Or is it Battle for Neighborville, the new twist on the shooter, which has more classes, less variants, and goes on a little bit more of a Overwatch style game? Or are you more of the mobile PvZ tower defense style person as well? And just to throw it in at the end as well, what about Plants vs. Zombies Heroes? Do you love the Hearthstone inspired card game based around Plants vs. Zombies? Let me know your favorite in the comments down below. I'm going to be discussing probably what my favorite is and whether or not I think Garden Warfare 2 is the best Plants vs. Zombies game we've ever seen. Right then, so we're going to start off as a party corn. We are losing quite significantly to the zombies. Let's hopefully change that around. And let's have a little discussion about the whole Battle for Neighborville versus Garden Warfare 2. Because a lot of people love Garden Warfare 2. A lot of people have played Battle for Neighborville and they don't like the game. And I can kind of understand where they're coming from. It's a huge difference to the original Garden Warfare game. There's no variants, so essentially there's less classes in the game, there's less characters you can play as. They've tried to change that with the perk system instead, which honestly I don't think has worked as well as it could have done. I don't think the perk systems are significant enough to make it feel like you're playing a totally different class. They are definitely trying to make the upgrades feel more significant, especially with the legendary upgrades. However, even then, it's not exactly the same as, you know, having like a fire pea shooter and an ice pea shooter and things like that. So I can understand where a lot of people are unsure of Battle for Neighborville, and that's kind of where I'm on the fence. Battle for Neighborville and Garden Warfare 2 are totally different games. Yes, they are shooters and they are based around Plants vs. Zombies, but they are very much a totally different game. And if you like one game, you might not necessarily like the other one. So let's actually talk about Garden Warfare 2. Over 120 different variants in the game, I believe. It's got story modes, kind of, with the quests. It's got infinity time. It's got garden ops and graveyard ops, which has special waves. It goes up to round 10. Enchanted gardens. You can choose where you place your garden down or graveyard. You have the mystery portal, which, yes, isn't updated as frequently now as it used to, but it was updating every week with a different mode, which some of them had crazy settings. Some were fun, others not so much. And then, of course, we did have private matches, which I wish were more than 4 players, which is really a big shame. I think private matches for me was one of the biggest letdowns for Garden Warfare 2. I was hoping we could have had 24-player private matches. We didn't get that. We could only have up to 4 players. However, for those people that didn't want to play multiplayer, it was still an option to play against AI. Oh, that's the end of the game. On top of that, we was introduced to our first open world hub for Plants vs. Zombies, which is a great, refreshing take. We had the Flag of Power, we had the zombie base and the plant base, and you can go against each other. So that was pretty cool as well. So it was a massive step from Garden Warfare 1. Take it to Battle for Neighborville. They've taken away a lot of those variants. We had, like, I think 120 variants in Garden Warfare 2. We've got 20 classes, well, 21 classes in Battle for Neighborville. So you're already pulling a lot of content away from what you was initially used to playing in Garden Warfare 2. They have tried to make that feel less significant with the perk system, which I honestly don't think it fills that space. You know, you could add certain upgrades onto your characters, but it still doesn't feel like a brand new variant. On top of that, they've taken away ability variants as well, so you don't have the Sombrero Bean Bomb or the Chili Bean Bomb. You've just got the Bean Bomb, and then you can kind of add perks that might make it detonate a bit quicker, or you can throw it further, but it's not a brand new ability. It's not something new. I guess one prime example is you could have the ZPG for the foot soldier, which fires one gigantic missile, or you could use the multi-rocket, which would fire multiple smaller missiles, which are good at taking out a huge group of zombies in a cluster and an objective. You don't have that option in Battle for Neighborville. You have the ZPG, and then you can have other little perks that are going to temporarily change that ZPG. Maybe it travels a bit further, or yeah, I don't even know what all the perks are for the ZPG, to be honest, but you can't have one that makes it go into a multi-rocket as far as I'm aware. So regardless of what ability you use or what perk you use, it's primarily the same ability, which once again is taking away from what's already been in Garden Warfare 2. So off the bat, things aren't looking pretty good for Battle for Neighborville. We have less character variants in the game, we have less abilities, so therefore you're probably going to be playing more or less the same game more frequently than you would in Garden Warfare 2. You know, you could play 120 different games in Garden Warfare 2, and each time it could be with a different character, so it's going to feel different. Battle for Neighborville, you play 20 games, and then you've played all of the characters. However, Battle for Neighborville does have some things going for them. God damn it, I got out ZPG'd. Battle for Neighborville does have some things going for them. You know, it has the free roam regions, which I think are great. I honestly think that the free roam regions are a great piece of content that alone is gonna make you be able to play that game for a lot of hours. You know, there's 3 different types of regions. We have Town Center, Winning Woods, and Mount Steep. Yes, the zombies and the plants share a region, and there's some things that are similar, but I guess you could kind of say it's a different region, but it's pretty much the same. There's new quests, new challenges, and story and stuff like that, but some things do transfer over. But the free roam regions themselves are great. Second of all, they're also trying to add in like a competitive style into the game as well with the battle arena. They've still got some things I think they need to tune and fine-tune, but they're slowly getting there, and that's definitely something that's gonna fill a space for the competitive players. And I get you. Beef Wellington, that's what I'm talking about. Now, another important thing to talk about as well is, aside from the content, the gameplay itself feels very different. You know, I feel like you play Battle for Neighborville and you play Garden Warfare 2 and they don't play the same. The aiming is different, the hitboxes and the damages are very different as well. Battle for Neighborville definitely still needs some tweaking. I feel like it needs drop-off. That's a discussion we're going to have in a separate video. If you guys don't know what drop-off is, it's basically if someone's shooting you from further away, they're going to deal less damage. It's in this game. It's not in Battle for Neighborville. I don't know why, but hopefully it's going to come to the game. So we're going to discuss about that in a separate video. So Battle for Neighborville definitely has some issues, and it feels like they're pulling content out of the game of what was in Garden Warfare 2. Yes, they've added with the free roam regions, but as far as characters go and variants and abilities, there's a lot less. So I feel a lot of people are finding the game a lot staler much quicker. You're not going to be able to play as many different character variants to mix up your play style. It's the same character with a few different perks to make you teleport a little bit quicker, or you move a little bit quicker for your hit, and it doesn't necessarily make the gameplay feel fresh, whereas variants and new abilities do. Personally, myself, I've had to think about this a lot. I really have, because I love Battle for Neighborville. I feel like they've taken the variants out and the characters out for the main reason of balancing. You know, having 120 different character variants in the game makes it pretty much impossible to balance correctly. And yes, the game isn't balanced correctly now, but it will be a lot more difficult if they had a lot more variants. So for me personally, I've had to think about this. I love Battle for Neighborville. I think it's a great game. It's got its issues, but it is a great game. But for me, I just feel like the lack of variants and the lack of unique abilities, it's just going to make the game just get a little bit stale quicker. You're not going to be able to change your gameplay up as much. If you want to play as the Foot Soldier, you can only play as the Foot Soldier. You've only got his ZPG, his Stink Cloud, his Rocket Jump. You know, you've only got his primary weapon. You've not got that Super Commando with the 3-round burst. If you play the Scientist, you've only got that primary weapon. You've not got a weapon which can set the enemies on fire. You've not got one that can shock the enemies. So I just see it becoming less fun quicker for people. And that's honestly the case for me as well. I'm not playing Battle for Neighborville as much as I was. I love the game. I'm playing a lot of Overwatch still. I'm playing various other games as well. And don't get me wrong, I love the game. But if you're playing the game every day, and you don't have different variants that you can play as, and you don't have, you know, different abilities that you can use to mix it up. You know, maybe one game I'm playing the Scientist, I want to use the Heal Beam. But wait, this game, I'm going to use the Heal Station. I'm going to mix up the way I play the Scientist. Instead of being someone with a Heal Beam where I'm going to, you know, be supportive of my team, I'm going to be aggressive with the Heal Station. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to take out the plants. I'm then going to put a Heal Station down and heal myself. You know, you can't change your playstyle up as frequently in Battle for Neighborville. The perks just don't do the justice, and I can see it getting stale a little bit quicker. That's just honestly my opinion. Right now, obviously Battle for Neighborville could be supported for a long time and still will be a great game. I could just see a lot of people moving on to other games a lot quicker than they did Garden Warfare 2. And that's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what your favourite Plants vs Zombies game is out of Garden Warfare 2 and Battle for Neighborville. What do you like about each game? Let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know your thoughts. Like I said, I love Battle for Neighborville, but right now, once you go back and look at Garden Warfare 2 and you look at how much unique replayability you have in the game with all of the different variants and abilities and all of that stuff, it just feels like that so much content's just missing from Battle for Neighborville, you know? It feels like they've added some things, they've taken other things away, but what they've taken away and replaced with doesn't make up the difference. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I may be streaming later tonight. If I am, it will be over on Twitch. Make sure you guys go follow if you have not done so already. Click the link to join my Discord. The link's in the description as well. And hopefully I will catch you guys in another video.